Saturday night at this gas station on West.
Residents in the area say they heard gunshots around 10 or 11 Saturday night, but didn't think much of it.
Shots were fired and at least one person injured. In Jackson,
police say there were shots fired into a house in the 3000 block of
the area say they heard gunshots around 10.
What they fight for? Tell me what they fight for. All money and drugs, that's what it was. That's what you dying for. Cook it up in the kitchen like sinners. That's what you striving for. You trap, you trap, you trap, you trap, you trap, you trap.
Come get your fix, get your licks, cause this White House was built with bricks. To sell your soul, you get that gold, you get that dope, you get them kicks, they tell you whatever. To keep you in sin forever. The oil, the money, the drugs got you trapped.
You trap, you trap, you trap. Ayy. You want that American dream, don't you? You wanna ride clean, sipping that purple lean, don't you? You want that Jesus peace that they ain't never seen, don't you? Run them numbers up, why them hoes scream, don't you? But they come with a price. Rick James, yeah, they colder than ice. They make you sign on the dotted line. They giving you life. Monopoly, now you're rolling the dice. You wanna shine, right? You wanna shine bright. Where your soul, I need it. All your goals, you reaching.
Been on the block, hit the corners, but it ain't for the rock. This for the Lord, this for my people that's getting destroyed. This for the men that's living like boys. This for the women that's living like whores. I got a bone to pick. Running the zone to pick the road. Wet shots, no bricks. America, KKKA, damn. Living off the pig, going ham. Cooking coke, cut it if you can. No hope, rolling with the plan. White man dream, that's a scam. And all we do is follow master. All we do is follow pastors. Led to the slaughter. We need the Father, damn.
What they fight for? Tell me what they fight for. All money and drugs, that's what it was. That's what you dying for. Cook it up in the kitchen like sinners. That's what you striving for. You trap, you trap, you trap, you trap, you trap, you trap.
Come get your fix, get your licks, cause this White House was built with bricks. To sell your soul, you get that gold, you get that dope, you get them kicks, they tell you whatever. To keep you in sin forever. The oil, the money, the drugs got you trapped.
You trap, you trap, you trap.
Money, car, clothes, hold drugs. What you living for? The cop ran them down. Trigger happy, what they shoot up for. Marching, they want justice, you want peace, but it never come. Judgment from the Lord, I pray you repent before your time come. The trap out, that's your hangout till you crap out, till you lose your life. Because he was bugging, loco, shot a Draco, took a life. Like damn, bam, kicking the door with a no-knock one. You was sleeping in the bed, baby girl on the couch with an infrared beam gon' move you down. Like damn, man, tell me was it worth it? Praying to the Father, why? When shots rang out about 100 rounds, they shot up the couch till the blood ran down. Damn, now that's your daughter, now she dead laying on the couch. You jumped up, cocked your block back, grabbed your dose and tried to run. Damn, so now you trapped, ran to the back of the house, no way out, laid on the floor, shot through the door, then tried to reload. Prison, he ain't going back. Reload, then cocked the hammer back. Put the gun to his head, bent down to his knees, blew his own damn brains out. Gone.
What they fight for? Tell me what they fight for. All money and drugs, that's what it was. That's what you dying for. Cook it up in the kitchen like sinners. That's what you striving for. You trap, you trap, you trap, you trap, you trap, you trap.
Come get your fix, get your licks, cause this White House was built with bricks. To sell your soul, you get that gold, you get that dope, you get them kicks, they tell you whatever. To keep you in sin forever. The oil, the money, the drugs got you trapped.
You trap, you trap, you trap.
Whoever's giving out these record deals. But all this violence here, people are ducking for cover. Children are killing children, and there's no effort into boycotting anybody. Look how hard they're going to stop us. YouTube stopping us, PayPal stopping us, Facebook stopping us. All the energy they're putting into stopping us, who is not causing any harm to anybody.
We be waking up the tribes and it started on the south side. Spreading wisdom to the wise, turn the hearts to the fathers and it started in the south side. Raising the tents of Judah first and you know we on the south side. I see the fear in they eyes, leave dying Benji on my right side.
Boy, you hit them 808s, bet you know we from the south side. Heard your pastor teaching lies, blitz block, tell them we outside. Break these nations, root them out the rocks, now they can't hide. Raving like I'm Benji, bout the low like I'm Levi. Set on high, like them 30s on the dunk. Overdrive, bombs fly, keep some flies in the trunk. Too fast, slim fast, coming like a famine come. Set up camps in all your borders, now your people eating dung. We've been waking up the South like Levi, Benja, and Judah. Repented in that South from Gucci, Jeezy, and Boosie. That gospel in the South from Memphis down to the A. See us blitzing in the South, but we been had something to say.
We be waking up the tribes and it started on the South Side. Spreading wisdom to the wise, turn the hearts to the fathers, and it started in the South Side. Raising the tents of Judah first, and you know we on the South Side. I see the fear in they eyes, Levi and Benji on my right side.
Look, this is a spiritual war, so why in the hell would I fight with a gun? To all of the nations we lost, the scriptures they tell us we already won. The vision that speak at the end, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to run. Look, focus, all of this shit is atrocious. I'm about to get back on my bed like I forgot something that's left on my groceries. Trophies, bogus, y'all can't forget that they sold us. Had a white man play Moses. I'm waiting for this kingdom to fall like October.
Wait, hold up. Christ already told us we soldiers. Got the whole South on our shoulders. Waking up the world like Folgers. Tell Northern Kingdom come over. This the war after that locust. Not tremble on that cup, cut this shit by. We be waking up the tribes and it started on the South Side. Spreading wisdom to the wise. Turn the hearts to the fathers and it started in the South Side. Raising the tents of Judah first, and you know we on the South Side. I see the fear in they eyes, Levi and Benji on my right side.
Hey, I'm back on the ship. This is one number 6. The question is this, the questions of war is this for fun? We coming in hundreds to fix the slums. From Costa Rica to Cartagena, TV and radio stations, I see you screaming, I see us on live skiing. The IUIC is making waves like a brush in a do-rag. They looking like who that? Tusabe. You already knew that, and we fly. Where all the Jews at, all of the doctors, right where the crews at. We be the prophets, want me to prove that, and it be high, but we keep it cool at. We be the Renato Norte, Capítulo 1:14. Salvador, that be the Lord's day, and we just do what the Lord say. I got a gate, not a doorway. We cooking in here, let me saute. Santa Biblia Espanol, I be teaching it all day.
Tonight in the day, on the sea we make our way. Yeah, no time to play. Show you the way. Marching through the ocean, making way. Yeah, can't stop no way. Tonight in the day, on the sea we make our way. Yeah, no time to play. Show you the way. Marching through the ocean, making way.
Back, Lord on the throne, the fiery form, said who going? Back, the 144, the angels are cold, said we going? Back, we hunters and soldiers, born to take over, turn to the max, we don't know how to read. Tax, Shannon, come follow me. We teaching the word, come follow me. We fishers of men, come follow me. The dragon is rough, he follow me. The Lord, the heaven surrounding me. Lord, they got it coming quickly, Devin moving swiftly, soaring like an eagle, praying, moving with me, flipping through the scriptures, creeping through my fingers, weapons getting sticky, but I be like, Lord, please come to your people. The islands of Puerto Rico, send Judah to all his people. Deliver us from Egypt, Aruba, Dominica to Jamaica. You my people, to my senor, senoritas. Yeah, we coming from your people.
Tonight in the day, on the sea we make our way. Yeah, no time to play. Show you the way. Marching through the ocean, making way. Yeah, can't stop no way. Tonight in the day, on the sea we make our way. Yeah, no time to play. Show you the way. Marching through the ocean, making way. Can't stop no way. Tonight in the day, on the sea
Welcome to the Natives Hour, home of the 10 tribes. I'm Officer Dunn, and to my right,
Officer Asadai.
To his right,
Officer Mordecai.
To his right,
Officer Jonah.
To his right,
I'm Officer Mattathias.
All praise to the Most High. Hey, we're going to get it in tonight. Let's bring up that title. Let's see what we're talking about tonight. Let's bring up that powerful thumbnail that we got. Hey, y'all, check that out. Guatemala. Did I say it right?
No, you did not. That is not Guatemala. It is Guatemala.
Okay, Guatemala. All right. The hidden genocide. Hey, we're going to go in tonight. We're going into it tonight. Hey, because it's been a genocide on our people since the Spanish colonization. All right, since the Spaniards came on this side of the globe, it's been a genocide. And you're gonna see in this video, they were carrying on this genocide all the way up into the 90s.
Bring it out.
This is crazy, all the way up into the 90s. Hey, let's pull up that first article. Let's look at the history of Guatemala.
Go on.
Let's read that.
History of Guatemala. The history of Guatemala traces back to the Mayan civilization, with the country's modern history beginning with the Spanish conquest of Guatemala in 1524. By 1000 AD, most of the major classic era Maya cities in the Patan Basin, located in the northern lowlands, had been abandoned. The Maya states in the Belize Central Highlands continued to thrive until the Spanish conquistador Pedro de Alvarado, called the Invader by the Maya, arrived in 1525 and began to subdue the indigenous population.
Hey, hold on. Let's clear something up real quick. Back at the top, it says the Mayan civilization, 2600 BC to 1697 AD. We got to clear that up, y'all. Let's get, because they're referring to the Bering Strait false doctrine. That is not true.
Bring it out.
Let's look at the history of the Mayans. We're going to go to 2 Kings. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17. And we're going to go into the history and see how they got to the Americas. So 2 Kings chapter 17, we're going to start at verse 1. Let's read that.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 1.
Let's go.
In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
Over Israel. So we got Ahaz, king of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, and we have Hoshea, which is king of Israel, the northern kingdom. So Hoshea reigned over Israel, the northern kingdom, for 9 years. Jump to verse 3.
Verse 3. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hosea became his servant, and gave him presents.
So Hoshea, he became servant to who? To, what's his name? Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, right? Giving him gifts and things like that. But we starting off that the 10 tribes were in Israel, all right? And we're going to show you what happened. Read on.
And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria.
So he stopped giving presents to the king of Assyria. Hey, we see that a lot of times today, y'all, where you have these what you call these puppet rulers, right? They have to give gifts. They invite people like America to come to their land and take over their resources, and they realize that they just puppets. And they say, you know what, I want to stop doing this.
We saw last week with the Panama deception with Noriega, the real Noriega, and basically he didn't want to deal. He didn't want to play ball with America anymore. So America was like, bro, we made you.
Right.
We put you in charge.
Right. Yeah. So, hey, as you can see, that this been going on over and over and over for years. Read on.
Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria.
And did what?
And carried Israel away into Assyria.
So this is when the northern kingdom went into captivity under the Assyrians. This was around 722 BC. Read on.
And carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah, and in Habor by the river of Gozan, and in the city of the Medes.
In the city of the Medes, all right? In the city of the Persian Medes. Now let's go to 2nd Ezra 13 and verse 40.
Let's go.
And also let's get Osiris prepared to pull up. Curveball. That's a curveball, y'all. But we got to prove that this is wrong here. Let's get that in 2nd Ezra.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
So they went into the land of the Persian and Medes. All right, the 10 tribes is referring to the northern kingdoms. All right, the northern kingdom of Israel, which mostly resides in South America. And the what these islands?
Central America. You got Naphtali and the Pacific Islands as well, Papua New Guinea and such.
Right, and those little islands like Cuba. What do you call those islands?
Oh, yeah, the
Caribbean
West
islands.
Indies.
Caribbean islands. Right. All right, read on.
The king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt.
So they took this counsel among themselves that they would go into a further country where never mankind dwelt. This was around roughly 539 BC, 536, 539 BC. Is there more?
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood.
So they went through the Euphrates. They didn't go through this barren strait, what you call it, the barren strait. That's made up. I think that's somewhere near Russia, right?
Yeah, so basically they say that they came out from Asia across the Bering Strait, which is like some type of ice land bridge that connected Russia to Alaska. But that's racist. You got they saying millions of people walked across some ice to get to America.
The hell is this?
And basically, and you know how they be like, yo, when they came over here, we was butt naked,
right,
loincloths out. So we walked naked, no shoes, with animals and little kids across ice to get here.
Boy, ain't no way.
So that right
Boy,
there in
no
itself
way,
don't make sense. And our people believe that for years.
Yeah.
Hey, that's crazy. Let's read on.
Verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood.
Hey, what's going on with his mic? Make sure his mic is good.
And held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of 1.5 years.
So it took them 1.5 years to reach what we call the Americas today.
Come on.
But let's see what it was called then. Read.
And the same region is called Arsaret.
It's called what?
Arsaret.
Arsaret. So this land of America back then was called Arsaret. Let's pull up Arsaret. Let's read that.
Jewish Encyclopedia, Arsaret. The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell.
And who will dwell?
The 10 tribes of Israel.
So the 10 tribes of Israel, it was documented in the Bible in 2nd Ezra over 2,000 years ago. That's how Christopher Columbus was able to find the northern kingdom of Israel. And when they found them, guess what they did? Slaughtered them by the millions. It's been a genocide ever since. Read on.
Observing the laws of Moses.
So when they came here, they were supposed to observe the laws of Moses. But they got into, as we know, they got into all other kind of stuff, sacrificing themselves, the kids eating organs, idol worship.
Yo,
what you got?
You know what's crazy? Watch this. Yo, I saw this history today that the Aztecs. We talking just Northern Kingdom in general. I know we talk about Zebulon today, but the Aztecs, right? They were some wild cats, yo. There was a local tribe that was near them, and they basically was like, "Yo, let me get your daughter to marry to be a part of the Aztec Empire, right?" But they took the daughter, killed her, and the priest was wearing the daughter as clothing. We were on some evil, violent stuff. Like when you hear Bishop going to the Dark Ages and stuff, he often say like we weren't righteous because in Europe, Judah, the Southern Kingdom was evil as hell, and on this side of the world, Northern Kingdom, evil, eating people's hearts and wearing people's skin. We was evil as hell.
Man, dang,
I read that today. I was like, yo, that's some wild stuff.
I ain't even know that, man. That's I ain't know it get that wild, man.
Yo, yeah, and I'm like, yo, man, the depravity, bro, depravity.
Dang.
And the thing is, too, you got movies like Apocalypto, where they show to an extent, you know what I'm saying, the sacrifices and the human sacrifices that Northern Kingdom was doing. But then you got history like this that it shows that there was much more debauchery, there was much more evil going on. You know what I'm saying? That's not written in the books. You know what I'm saying? Bring it out.
Hey, let's read on.
I was gonna say, hey, wait, you're not Jair.
No, not Jair.
Go back. Until the time of restoration, according to 2nd Ezra 13 and 45. Columbus.
Who?
Columbus identified America with this land.
So that's how they found where the Israelites were. Through 2nd Ezra. That's how Columbus identified America with Osiris.
So, officer, and that article is telling because what they saying is they know who the Israelites are.
Right,
The so-called white man, this Roman Catholic Church, all of them that were in that land in the time of Spain, they knew exactly where God's people were.
Exactly.
And they identified it with, you know what I'm saying, they showing that they knew by the evidence that they presented. It's crazy.
And officer, even to your point, when you look at the 12 tribes chart that just dropped for Africa in the Eastern Hemisphere, right? You see the tribe of Asher, they had lots from Angola, right? A lot of slaves were taken from Angola to Brazil.
Wow.
So it lets you know that this white man know who he was taking and where he was taking them to.
Hey, we bringing, this white man, in these last days, the children of Israel are going to wake up to who they are according to the Bible. That man of sin shall be revealed. And we revealing him.
That's
all right. Let's go back to the history of Guatemala.
Come on. It's Guatemala. What do you say? Guatemala?
Guatemala.
Guatemala. Okay.
You all right? I said Guatemala.
Guatemala. Come on, man. We the Jews. We say Guatemala. You got to put some Jews.
Right.
Oh, come on, Reuben.
Yeah, we got 2 Reubenites in the building today.
Lord.
3 Reubenites in the building.
Yeah.
One you can't see.
Dang.
All right, come on.
Let's bring it up. Let's get it.
F11. For nearly 330 years, Guatemala was part of the Captaincy General of Guatemala, which included Chiapas, now in Mexico, and the present-day countries of El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Guatemala.
So this was under the Spanish rule right here. Capacity General of Guatemala. All right, read on.
The colony declared its independence on the 15th of September 1821 and briefly joined the First Mexican Empire in 1822.
So click on that Mexican Empire real quick and we're going to go back. All right, stroll down. Keep strolling. All right, you see that in green? All right, that was the Mexican Empire right there. It was called the First Mexican Empire in 1822, where the so-called Mayans and the Incas was joined together. Issachar and Zebulon was joined together. All right, let's get Deuteronomy real quick. And then, of course, you know, the white man started coming back in and breaking everything up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Spanish Empire, that was Germany and France that was ruling them. Because Issachar and Zebulon were still slaves. It was like years after this when they revolted against those two powers because Napoleon was snatching everything.
Bring it out.
Right, so they revolted in what we got? Let's go back. 1821. So basically the Spaniards ruled for nearly 330 years.
Damn.
So, and then they revolted in 1821. It didn't last that long, right? Up until 1824, and then it branched off to Federal Republic of Central America. So, all right, let's get that in, what were we? Deuteronomy 33.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 18.
Let's go.
And of Zebulon he said, rejoice, Zebulon, in thy going out, and Issachar in thy tents.
Read.
They shall call the people unto the mountain. There they shall offer sacrifices of righteousness.
Of what?
Of righteousness.
But we know they went off. So we're showing you that Issachar and Zebulun, they dwelled together. They was side by side, you know. Issachar called them to do the sacrifices. They blew the bull horns, called them out, right? So we just want to show you that. So let's go back and finish the history. So they gained what is it called? Independence, right? Under the it's that 1821, right? Under the first Mexican Empire, and read on from there.
F11. For nearly 330 years, Guatemala was part of the Captaincy General of Guatemala, which included Chiapas, now in Mexico, and the present-day countries of El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Guatemala. The colony declared its independence on the 15th of September, 1821, and briefly joined the First Mexican Empire in 1822. By 1824, Guatemala became a member of the Federal Republic of Central America.
So click on that. Let's show you what that looks like. Scroll down. So you see it broke off. Now this is Central America right here. The little spot in green. And then eventually they're gonna break off again to just Guatemala.
Come on.
All right, let's go back. But this is all because of the United States and Israel. We're gonna come to find out.
Bring it out.
All right, let's read on.
Where we at? Boom. And by 1824, Guatemala became a member of the Federal Republic of Central America. And upon the republic's dissolution in 1841, it gained full independence. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries.
So Guatemala gained full independence. It was its own little country. All right, read on.
In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, foreign agriculture companies, particularly the United Fruit Company.
And we're going to remember that name right there, the United Fruit Company.
Bring it out.
Read on.
Were drawn to Guatemala. These companies were bolstered by the country's authoritarian rulers and supported from the U.S. government.
So these were puppets that the U.S. government set up. Read.
Which enforced harsh labor regulations and granted vast concessions to wealthy landowners.
So they performed harsh regulation on their own people and granted what? What it said?
Vast concessions to wealthy landowners.
To white people. All right, read on.
The oppressive policies of Jorge Ubico led to a popular uprising in 1944.
He was one of the puppets that America set in power. Read. And it led up to the uprising in 1944. Read on.
Sparking the 10-year Guatemalan Revolution. During the presidency of Juan Jose Arevalo and Jacobo Arbenz.
Now remember, Jacobo Arbenz is going to be important figure, as well as Juan Jose. But read on.
You didn't even say the last name. The country experienced wide-ranging social and economic reforms, including a successful agrarian reform program and increased literacy.
Read.
The progressive reforms of Arevalo and Arbanz alarmed the UFC,
The United Fruit Company. Read.
which lobbied the U.S. government to intervene. This led to a U.S.-backed coup that ousted Arbenz and installed a military regime. The regime's rise initiated a period of military governments, culminating in a civil war from 1960 to 1996. The conflict was marked by severe human rights violations, including the Guatemalan genocide of the indigenous Maya by the military.
So this is all it was. It was a genocide. Okay? This what America did was create a genocide in Guatemala. All right? Y'all got anything before we go to the next video?
That's crazy, man, because hey, you see when the United States government feel like they have to intervene, it's when that revolutionary leader is leading Northern Kingdom. You feel me? Because that article it mentioned, soon as them two presidents that seem to have some sense, right?
So
they made a difference in
social reform,
increased literacy rates.
Right.
The white man said, "Oh, hold up, no, we have to intervene. We don't want them to elevate their mind like that. Now that we got to keep them low
as servants and slaves.
It's the same pattern, man.
To this day.
Right. So let's get the next video. Let's pull up the next video and we pull up the timestamps.
Hey, y'all, make sure you like, share, subscribe. IUIC Denver in the classroom. Make sure you donate. I got to do the thing. Boom, right there. Make sure you donate to the Booster Club so we can continue to send the prophets all around the world to wake up the 12 tribes of Israel. All right?
All right, y'all. Let's play that.
It would be worthwhile to revisit the time where the CIA and an American fruit company teamed up to overthrow a democratically elected president for bananas.
For bananas.
Okay, so this wasn't only over bananas, as we will soon see, but they played a role. Guatemala, prior to the 1950s, was not only a country riddled with poverty, but its social organization resembled that of feudalism predicated on a racial caste system. Guatemala was once home to the ancient Maya peoples who fiercely resisted Spanish colonialism in the 16th century. But once the Spaniards had defeated the Maya and successfully
So the Northern Kingdom, they fought now. They fiercely fought back.
Come on!
All right? During this colonialism, I think millions of our brothers and sisters were killed and murdered. All right, doing this.
You know, it gets on my nerves because oftentimes people will be like, the Mayans just disappeared.
Bring
like
it out.
aliens came and zapped them up. No, they didn't disappear. They were enslaved. They were genocided, like you're bringing out, officer. They didn't just disappear. The sons and daughters of the Mayans are still there. They still exist.
Or they'll say,
That's right.
They'll say like, oh, what we listen to right now, they say 200 million or 400 million. Esau dumb it down to be like, oh, it was only like a few thousand of them.
Exactly.
It was only a couple thousand. We know that's a lot. Come on.
Bring it out.
All right. Play on.
The land, they set up a hierarchical society based on race. White people who made up the minority and owned
here's
most
the what is it called, apartheid system that they set up. Play on.
of the land and natural resources were placed at the top of this social system. Below them were the Ladinos, a class composed primarily of mixed-race people. And at the very bottom of this racial hierarchy was the remaining indigenous population of Guatemala, who made up the vast majority of the country.
Guatemala is the kind of Central American...
Hey, pause it real quick.
Pull it back just a little bit to that triangle that you had up. So right there. Go back. No, too far.
Society based on race.
Triangle.
White.
Hey, Zebulon don't want no Zebulon.
Let's go to the triangle. Well, let's make sure the triangle is filled.
Yeah, fill the triangle up. Because what you're seeing is Bishop brought that out yesterday when they went into like the different classifications for how much black blood you have in you. So like if you, I forget what it, Mangroon, of course you know, Jonas. Mulatto, mestizo, all this. That's the same practices of classification. The caste. Yeah, that caste system That's crazy work. That caste system that they installed for Judah, as far as how much Negro blood you have in you, they did the same thing with Northern Kingdom throughout the Spanish colonies.
And that goes right with their what's it called, blancamiento. They're you know, if you lighter skin or you closer to European traits, they'll give you more in society. So then the next generations will always aspire to be closer to that to come up. You feel me? It's mental, all that, psychological. Yep.
That's why brothers be like, I know black.
Right.
Papi,
Right.
I know black. I know Mexican.
Don't put me in that category.
Nunca.
I'm trying to do some things in life.
You know black.
It's messed up.
What?
Play on.
Who made up the vast majority of the country.
Guatemala is the kind of Central American country that used to be called a banana republic before people started talking about wars of national liberation. Most of the citizens of Guatemala are Indians, and most of them live in the shadow of a small, wealthy class which owns most of the arable land.
Guatemalan society was known for its poor social mobility, meaning if you were born poor or if you were part of the bottom tiers of society, it was nearly impossible to rise up the ranks and free yourself from poverty.
Meaning if you were the indigenous. Play off.
The reason for this was due to the white elite ruling class and foreign corporations who owned all of the land and resources, thereby making it next to impossible for landless indigenous folks to use Guatemala's resources and land for themselves. Instead, they had to sell their labor to the landowning class for meager wages. In fact, they were literally forced to do so. In 1931, a dictator by the name of Jorge Ubico took power and passed a law stating that all landless indigenous folks had to work for their local landowners for at least 100 days per year. To add insult to injury, the landowning ruling class...
Pause that real quick. Also, I get a script real quick on that. Real quick.
go
Go to
ahead.
Deuteronomy 28 and go to verse 33 real quick.
Let's go.
That's crazy. That's crazy right there. Read this real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 33.
Yeah, let's go.
The fruit of thy land.
The what?
The fruit of thy land.
They was working hard for all the fruit that they was growing, and they had to give it to the white man. Right? Come on, read.
And all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not.
The damn Edomites. We don't know them people, but guess what? They come and eat all our labors that we put in. Look, white man ain't in the field sweating. He ain't in the field sowing. He ain't doing none of that. But they make it to a way where we got to pay them for our hard work. He ain't even from there. How you got there? Come on, read. Come on.
Shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
Come on.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
And that's what you see in that land right now to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Hit the bomb!
So come on, that's all I got.
And even to your point, that's everything you're seeing now, because that's like the 50s, isn't it? That's a offspring of that encomienda system.
Well, that's before the 50s.
That's the 30s?
Yeah.
Oh, see, they got the color on it. You know, they take the color off to make it seem older. Okay, so that's the 30s. That's an offspring of the Spanish encomienda system, where they would take the indigenous people and force them to work the field that used to be theirs. And it's a plantation by another name.
Right, they created that structure, and then they put puppets in place to continue it. But you're gonna see, in the 50s, the uprising gonna take place right before they shut it down. But let's see how bad it was. Play on.
As colluded amongst each other to keep wages artificially low, further exacerbating the crisis of poverty among the landless people. Ubico was just one of the many Latin American right-wing dictators who did everything he could to side with the powerful and against the less fortunate.
As you can see, since colonialism, since their independence, they just set up puppet rulers. He's just another puppet ruler. Play on.
Thus, in the eyes of the United States government and American corporations, men like Ubico were useful allies. So useful that if they didn't exist, the U.S. would do all they could to prop up, support, and place them wherever they would serve American business.
You see, the U.S. put them all over the world. As you can see, in Iran, they put the Shah. You see that? Even in, I think that's, what's that dude, Mobutu, that replaced Thomas Sankara.
Yep.
So, yeah, all over the world, they created the same tactics.
And you know what's crazy? When the white man put another white man in office, they get to be presidents and leaders. But when they put us in office, we're dictators.
Exactly. Yeah.
The word, you got to watch the wordplay. The white man, the devil with that wordplay.
And to add on to your point, the white man know to put a Hispanic face to their leadership. So when the people going through hell, they be like, yeah, President so-and-so, dictator so-and-so is corrupt.
It's all Maduro's fault.
But they never go to the root. Like as you watch this video, it said that was they man because he aligned with the U.S. government and U.S. corporations. But we'll never go to the U.S. government to say, bro, they're the ones at the root of our oppression.
Even with that, it goes to your point, Officer Don. Hosea. Who put Hosea in power?
Bring it out.
Right.
Assyria. Because Assyria first was Assyria was already over Northern Kingdom because Northern Kingdom went to Assyria like for help. So when the last man bucked up, he was like, all right, you're the guy I'm putting in charge. It's like Bishop brings out in like Second Ezra's about judgment is a ring. It just keep going. This is the same stuff happening over and over again.
Right. It's nothing new. And as you can see, if you go back, they always put the people of the country's face as the dictator. Right. And always make them slaughter and massacre and kill their own people.
Right.
They just go out throughout the world and do the same thing. All right, play on, y'all.
One of the prerequisites for a good fascist dictator was anti-communist paranoia. This was a quality present in nearly all of the tyrants that the Americans propped up, and it wasn't a mere coincidence. In the case of Yubico, his anti-communism was so severe that he forbade the usage of language that he interpreted as communist adjacent. Terms like strike, labor rights, trade union were banned, and even the word workers was replaced by employees. This anti-communist hysteria
Hold up, go back. That's the same thing they're doing today. Hey, if you could pause it on them list of words. Are they not trying to take slavery out of the school system? Are they not trying to name it, they came over here as, go ahead.
It's that critical race theory.
Bruh, this is
what
crazy.
It's called. CRT. Yes.
They was doing the same thing at this time.
Bring it up.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, they saying he put in place a system to where you can't say strike. You can't say labor rights, trade. It's too, what they call it, divisive. Hey.
Go ahead. It's politically correct. That's what they want you to be, politically correct.
This? White man the devil. Go ahead. Come on.
That scripture, Officer Mordecai.
Come on. It's Isaiah. Is it Isaiah 5?
It is Isaiah.
Isaiah, yes.
Yeah, what is that?
Yes, where's that? Isaiah chapter.
Y'all know.
Bring it out.
They make an offender for a word. Google it.
Hey, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe.
29. Yes, sir. I got you. Come on.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 21.
Let's go.
That make a man an offender for a word.
So a man became an offender when he found out, wait a minute, Ubiko is setting us up and selling us out to the nations. He's profiting off of us. This is sharecropping. This is slavery. This is everything that benefits the other nations and keep us at the bottom. And not only that, read it again from the top.
That make a man an offender for a word.
So when you go to them and you say, hey, wait a minute, we not being treated fairly. We want to protest. You're supposed to be our leader and look out for us. What is this about? No, I'm going to make you an offender. You can't say strike. You can't have labor rights. There will be no trade unions. There will be none of that stuff. None of this will benefit you. Go ahead.
And lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate.
Again, when you protest, when you try to stand up against them, what it say? And lay a snare for him. They imprison you. They silence you. All of this will take place if you try to do what? Point out the evils that these leaders have done at the hand of this so-called white man. Go ahead.
Right. That's why we can't go to France now.
Come on.
Right.
Come on.
So safe to say Esau trying to hide behind the curtain.
You know how it is.
He's trying to hide behind the curtain. That's why we here to reveal the wicked.
You heard me?
Bring it out.
Finish it out.
And turn aside the just for a thing of naught.
And turn aside the just. All right. Back to you, officer.
Hey, play on.
And even the word workers was replaced by employees. This anti-communist hysteria made Guatemala a hotbed for worker exploitation and therefore very attractive to American business interests who knew they could get away with exploiting cheap Guatemalan labor. Yubico was a very strong American ally. He loved the Yankees and the Yankees loved him back. He was such a staunch Americaboo that He actually declared war on both Japan and Germany after the Pearl Harbor attack to show solidarity with the US.
Boy, if this wasn't
which is
cool.
kind of
play on, y'all. Just play on.
Of him. But above all, the reason he was such a precious asset to the Americans is because he allowed US corporations to do pretty much whatever they wanted in his country, largely at the detriment of the Guatemalan population, as we will soon see. And that brings us to the United Fruit Company.
The white man was like, this coon Hispanic is gonna be our best bet to fulfilling Deuteronomy 28:33. That's gonna be our best bet in to the fruit and the labors of Guatemala. Damn. Go ahead.
All right, let's finish this off. Play on. You right about that. Play on.
Now, the United Fruit Company was already deeply entrenched in Guatemala and its economy prior to Yubico's rule. It was known and largely despised by the locals of many Central American countries for decades prior to Yubico. Funnily enough, it was a different US-backed right-wing tyrant who helped United Fruit secure its presence in the region. Yubico merely kept the tradition going. He remained friendly to foreign investments, protected the United Fruit Company's land, gave them even more land, and whenever those pesky workers would pipe up and ask for humane working conditions, he would brutally suppress them. By that point, the United Fruit Company, along with the rest of the white land-owning elite, had amassed and hoarded so much arable land that the broader population had grown overwhelmingly fed up with the oligarchy. To make things worse, the United Fruit Company would buy up land for the purpose of leaving it unused just so no one else could acquire that land and use it to compete with them. All while the indigenous population suffered in poverty and
take it all.
They are
not
greedy.
leave nothing.
They're greedy. They are greedy people. Can I get a script?
Go ahead.
Habakkuk 2.
Bring it out.
Because they, like you said, officer, they're greedy. That's just them. That's their modus operandi. Yeah, exactly. I should get that instead. You said you want to grab.
Go ahead and get that one. Or
grab Obadiah for officer. Obadiah 5. Come on.
Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Come on.
If thieves came to thee.
If what?
If thieves came to thee.
We know this white man is a thief. He stole, as we play on, you're going to see he stole everything but 2% of the land. He stole everything. Read.
If robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
A regular robber will steal till he have enough. He'll steal to get what he need. Read on.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Right. They'll leave some. If a grape gatherer come, he'll leave some grapes. Read.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up?
But Esau, he'll take everything. Esau will leave you with nothing. This white man, he wanted all. If he could take, matter of fact, if he could kill all of us, we'll all be extinct if he could do it. This white man, I'm telling you, hey, we got to bring everything he doing to the light.
Exactly. That's that scripture. How are the things searched out?
Right.
Like he for real think like all the evil I've done on the earth, everything I've done to blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, everything I still do to them to this day. Who's gonna say anything?
Mystery.
Exactly. Mystery. Exactly. We exposing the mysteries.
We exposing. We bringing it up. Play on.
Hunger. The need for land reform was dire. In 1944, after mass protests against his tyrannical rule, Yubico finally stepped down and handed power over to his general, Federico Ponce. Ponce was also a tyrannical piece of shit, so I'll spare you the details and skip to the part where he was overthrown in a revolt led by Captain Jacobo Arbenz.
That's great. I don't know this dude's nationality. I'm gonna assume he's a Edomite for the sake of my comment. But why they always say that type of stuff about the people who lead? I'm not trying to glorify what these brothers did because they were evil, but you don't say that about the U.S. presidents.
Bring it out.
You don't say that about Catholic Church.
Bring it
You
out.
don't say that about Christopher Columbus, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, all the people who enslaved and raped us. But you can say that about our leaders. Yeah, exactly. It's easy to tear down a black man.
Right. Play on.
Then went on to help write a new constitution that ended censorship, made racism a crime, banned private monopolies.
So we're going to remember this guy as we play on. Keep going.
Ushered in a whole array of workers' rights and introduced free and fair elections to the country. This led to the election of Juan Jose Arevalo, who became Guatemala's first democratically elected leader. Arevalo did a lot of great things. He was progressive and a major improvement to the tyrants he replaced, but he ultimately fell short when it came to adequately challenging the United Fruit Company. By the time the 1951 Guatemalan elections came around, Captain Jacobo Arbenz, the guy who led the revolt against the tyrants and helped write the new democratic constitution, decided to run for president. He was somewhat of a Guatemalan hero at the time, so he won the presidency with a comfortable majority. Arbenz, with his balls of steel, was willing to do the thing Arevalo wasn't. He was willing to go up against the United Fruit Company, uncompromisingly. He did this through his aggressive but fair land reform program. To quote author William Blum, who used to work for the U.S. State Department and later went on to critique U.S. foreign policy, the centerpiece of Arbenz's program was land reform. The need for it was clearly expressed in the all-too-familiar underdeveloped country statistics. In a nation overwhelmingly rural, 2.2% of the landowners owned 70% of the arable land. The annual per capita income of agriculture workers was $87. Arbenz's land reform...
Annually, the workers made $87 a year. Dang. 2.2% of the population owns 70% of the land. So these white people that are not from there own 70% of the land. Gosh. Play on.
Saw the redistribution of unused land to about 100,000 landless peasants. He also improved the lives of workers by giving unions more rights, and his social reforms did not stop there. All of these progressive achievements earned Arbenz the support of many communists and leftists, which he gladly accepted.
All right, so they didn't like that when he did that. Now they're going to target this man after this. Let's go to that next timestamp. Because, what is his name? Jacobo Arbenz, right? He was pretty much the last revolutionary before the next genocide.
Bring it
slaughter of Zebulon, of the Zebulonian people. All right, play that.
Let's go.
His political reforms and ideas have been described as anything ranging from redistributive capitalism to social democracy, or as some historians claim, democratic socialism. But that did not stop the US from painting him as a full-blown Soviet puppet in order to justify what they were about
Eisenhower. Stop. That's the white Eisenhower. The white Eisenhower. That's a warlord. That's a war criminal, y'all. Everybody, we gotta start talking like that. These people are war criminals.
That's right.
Like, these are war criminals that never got convicted for the evil things they did, for the bombs they dropped and the people they killed. So that man, y'all said, put him back on the screen. Put the prisoner on the screen.
Right.
That's a war criminal right there.
Right.
Bring it out.
Right. Ain't no Mr. President that's a war criminal.
That's
genocidal maniac.
Exactly.
Just like Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Play on.
due to his country. But first, let's get back to the United Fruit Company. Even though they were financially compensated for the land they lost due to Arbenz's reforms, the United Fruit Company was livid. They went on to claim that Arbenz's government did not give them an appropriate sum of money. They wanted more. They wanted $16 million, but Arbenz only offered a little over $500,000.
Yo, that's what we read in 2 Kings. He stopped bringing gifts to Shalmaneser.
Come on!
That's what we just read. Go ahead.
His government had arrived at that figure by looking at the United Fruit Company's own declared valuation for tax purposes. To quote from historian Stefan Schlesinger's Bitter Fruit.
So they valued that land based on, on the taxes they wanted to pay. So the land was actually worth more than what they valued it at, so they could pay less and less taxes. They basically didn't want to pay nothing. So what is his name? Benz basically refunded them based on the value that they claimed that it was worth. And then they go, oh, I ain't like that. They want 16 million. These people are some frauds, man.
Take a few.
He only took the land that they weren't even using anyway. So play on.
Amazing.
For the seized property, the Arbenz government offered over $600,000 in bonds based on United Fruit's declared tax value of the land. United Fruit, like other large landowners, had historically undervalued its property in official declarations in order to reduce its already insignificant tax liability. But now that the declared value was being used to determine compensation, the company howled in protest. I guess they shouldn't have lied on their tax forms. Arbenz's land reform was not the only thing that pissed off the fruit empire. See, United Fruit handled much more than just fruit in Guatemala. In addition to monopolizing Guatemalan banana exports, they owned telephone and telegraph facilities. A subsidiary of the company owned almost all the railroads in Guatemala. And United Fruit had control over the country's only Atlantic harbor. This made it harder for Guatemala to develop its own industries, and as Schlesinger argues, United Fruit had a stranglehold on Guatemala's foreign trade.
They had a stranglehold on the trade because they owned the port. There they owned everything. The people that have nothing, they took all their resources.
Bring it out.
Greedy.
Everything.
Hey, can I get a screw real quick?
Go ahead.
Real quick. Deuteronomy 28. I'm in the curses, man. I'm in the curses. 44, please. Because they got the railroads. They got the ship. They got the telephone. So they can shut down telephones and be like, you ain't getting nothing.
Message.
Read that real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 44.
Come on. Bring it out.
He shall lend to thee.
Come on, the white man gonna lend to us. Come on.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
Even though that's our land. Come on.
He shall be the head.
Right.
And thou shalt be the tail.
Right. So he said, look, that was the only ship that was gonna sail out of there and come back. Right. So that was they was controlling the imports and the exports. Right.
Right.
That's heavy, man.
Import, export, the whole, all the fruits, the agriculture, the train station, the
metals in there.
So it was up to them, based on them, whether bananas can travel from one point to the other point on trains.
Whether you could call your mama.
Everything.
Hey, even when it says, because Cap brought this out a few weeks ago, he shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. When you look at it, they getting, what they say, $87 a year. When you know that white man was getting millions upon millions of dollars.
Bring it
2.2% on 70% of all that land. So
I hate it
So all you getting is the poop end of it.
The
You
tail.
not getting, exactly.
You getting the tail end of it.
Crazy. Hey, play on. Hey, this man got to be revealed. Play.
Goes a step further and claims the United Fruit Company operated as a state within a state. Arbenz set out to fix that. Under Arbenz, Guatemala constructed an Atlantic port and a highway to compete with United Fruit's holdings, and built a hydroelectric plant to offer cheaper energy than the US-controlled electricity monopoly. Arbenz's strategy was to limit the power of foreign companies through direct competition rather than through nationalization, a policy not feasible, of course, when it came to a fixed quantity, like land. Arbenz's reforms were very popular with the Guatemalan population. I mean, a whole bunch of landless peasants were given land for the first time, and with that land came the ability for them to produce and sustain themselves. However, his reforms were not received so positively by the United States, who already began plotting to overthrow Arbenz. It's important.
Dang. So they started plotting to overthrow him. So he didn't try to nationalize anything. His plan was to compete, right? To compete with them. So in order to do that, he had to confiscate the land. So that's the only way he could do it. And then that's when they said, we got to take him down.
And that's evil, though, because they said he was a communist. Because a communist would do, like you just said, try to nationalize it and make it so that the government is doing. He said, no, I just want the people to be able to make some money.
That's it.
And so you can stop stealing from me.
That's it.
Bring it
That's
out.
all he was going to do. He was going to take the land that they wasn't using, right? And he was going to create a company to compete. he wasn't going to take down the land that they was using, but because they had bought so much land that they was just holding it.
Hey, that's some wild stuff. That's like I go into your house, right? And I'm like, hey, yo, let me borrow a couple of dollars, or let me borrow this room. And you're like, hey, can I get my room back, bro? Like, nah, I'm finna use this, and I'm finna use the closet outside too.
Right.
You can't use that either. It's mine in your house.
That's crazy.
You right about pull the script?
Pull the strip, because next we're going to go into the details on how everything went down.
I low-key might want to wait for that. I might want to wait for that. Are you going into how the U.S. came in?
Yeah.
Damn, I want to wait to pull the script. Yeah,
we're going to go into it, how it went down.
Yeah, there's levels. Say it on the mic. Come on. You saying all the good stuff. Anti-mic.
It's levels to the devils.
It's levels to the devils. Levels to the devils. We going in, breaking it down piece by piece.
That's right.
Hey, let's get the second time stamp. Let's get it.
Hey, we got 120 people in the live chat right now. All praises to the Most High. Yeah, man. Fill that chat up. Make sure you share it. Everybody got to know this. Everybody. This the thing. This white man call our brothers and sisters from the Northern Kingdom, the tribe of Zebulon from Guatemala, all throughout Central America, they call them aliens and illegal immigrants, not realizing the evil things that America has done to make them have to flee their country. This man a devil.
That's right, and we bringing it out today. Play that. Is this the beginning?
In May 1944,
this the beginning of the video?
Dictator General Ubico was facing a serious problem. He had been oppressing...
Yeah, stop that, play it at the beginning, and then you're going to stop at 207.
June 18, 1954. As dawn broke over the country of Guatemala, a plane suddenly swooped over the sleeping capital, Guatemala City. As it passed over the National Palace, the plane dropped thousands of pamphlets into the air. Confused citizens and police officers began to pick them up, and what they read was ominous. If Guatemala's president, Jacobo Arbenz, didn't resign by the afternoon, that same plane would return to bomb the city and the National Palace. Signed by the National Liberation Forces. A few hours later, President Arbenz heard the news. A plane had just attacked one of Guatemala's port cities, and an army of insurgents had crossed into Guatemala. Their banner read, God,
Army of what? Insurgents! That's terrorism! The United States is a terrorist organization!
Exactly. Hey, they gave that man 1 hour. Bro, they gave him an hour and they was like, all right, we already in there bombing stuff, sending military inside the country. Bro, this man is the devil, man. They didn't even give him a day, a week. Come on, man.
Let me think about it.
They already had him surrounded. They used nigger how you pronounce it?
Nicaragua. You said it right.
Nigger water.
Nicaragua. Yeah. Hey. Didn't we talk about that in the car?
Yeah.
Come on.
Damn.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you know what's heavy? I was thinking about last week's show as well. And, while the U.S. had control of the port in Guatemala, and at the same time period, the U.S. is fighting for the control of that canal in Panama. So they could take the resources from Guatemala and throughout Central America and trade to the Pacific side, Atlantic side with ease. It all go together, man.
Now can I pull my script?
Go ahead.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Because it goes well with what you just said and what we're watching.
Come on.
It goes well. I just wanted to see Officer Don set it up. Because it's about to get ignorant in a minute.
Let's go.
Habakkuk, yeah, real talk. Like you hear insurgents, you thinking like Iraq? Afghanistan? Exactly. America. They're the insurgents. Go ahead, read that.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
This white man is the devil. He's not mentally stable. Because like you said, Officer Jonah, anybody like you being a just man are like, damn, you don't want to give him a day or two? Let him think it over. Maybe like get his things in order. Set stuff right. Go ahead.
Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Come on.
Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine.
He transgressed by wine, meaning his lies, his media. The first thing he did when he came into the country was he flew over with propaganda, dropping pamphlets to turn the people against their leader. Read.
He is a proud man.
He's proud. He said, hey, you got 5 minutes before I come up in there and do what I'm trying to do.
5 minutes.
And the clock started 4 minutes ago.
Y'all all right?
So let's make it happen. You heard me? Go ahead.
Amazing.
Neither keepeth at home.
He don't stay at home. You think he would be good in them caves. He said from 1453 till now, he said, I'm going to spread out like a cancer and hit everything on the earth and take everything. Read.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Like you were saying, Officer Don, he greedy. He greedy. He can't be stopped. He's a demon. Read.
And is as death.
As death. Meaning everywhere he goes, he brings death. No matter if he touches it, it's dying. He's cancerous. Read.
And cannot be satisfied.
He can't be satisfied. It's not enough that I got this land and I'm making millions on these bananas. I need that land too. It don't matter if I'm not touching it, it's mine. And that's mine too. Read.
But gathereth unto him all nations.
He gonna take Guatemala, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize,
Panama.
Costa Rica, Panama, Venezuela, Colombia, all them. Read.
And heapeth unto him all people.
Because once he came in and did this evil that we about to see, where did the Guatemalans go? America. Dude is the devil.
The devil the Bible speaks of.
That's a
Play on.
cool
Play on.
concept.
Let's play on.
And liberty. Arbenza's greatest fear had come true. The invasion had begun, and they were coming for his head. June 27, 1954. After 9 days of bombings, guerrilla fights, and psychological warfare, President Arbenz got his final ultimatum: surrender or death. He was surrounded by an invading army without any military support of his own, and he knew he was finished. At around 9 p.m., he addressed the nation over radio, and the second democratically elected president of Guatemala stepped down from his position and went into exile.
La verdad hay que buscarla en los intereses financieros de la compañía frutera y en los de los otros monopolios norteamericanos que han invertido grandes capitales en América Latina.
Yeah.
Bring it back. My bad. I got lost in the sauce. I shall read this. Go ahead. Come on. You can play it, I'll read it. The truth is to be found in the financial interests of the fruit company and the other U.S. monopolies which have invested great amounts of money in Latin America.
On paper, the downfall of Guatemala looked like just some trouble in a faraway country that no one cares about. But in reality, it was a coup orchestrated by none other than the CIA. That part is not very surprising.
Who? The CIA! No, it couldn't be the CIA doing bad things in a foreign country. Not those guys. Come on.
The shocking part is how a US fruit company lobbied the US government to overthrow the Guatemalan government because they were threatening the US fruit company's profits. Yes, a fruit company helped overthrow a sovereign government to protect their bottom line. After the invasion, Guatemala fell back into the hands of a brutal military regime. And for the following decades, terror, poverty, and assassinations dominated the country, all with the blessing of the CIA and the United Fruit Company.
Damn. Terror. Hey, America came in there and caused terror, genocide, slaughter, rape, murder. Hey, let's get that second timestamp.
What CIA stand for?
Hey, CIA stand for Caucasian Infantry Agency, man.
Damn.
Every bombing or whatever you hear, it's always CIA behind it.
You messed it
CIA.
up.
And Mossad.
Infiltration, agency. Caucasian Infiltration Agency.
Bring it
There we go, man.
There you
Appreciate
go.
y'all.
There you
Appreciate
go.
y'all.
Ruben don't be speaking English.
It's all good.
Come on.
Guatemala.
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 Hey, play out. We're gonna go into what went down. Keep going.
In May 1944, Guatemala's dictator General Ubico was facing a serious problem.
So this is that Ubico we talked about earlier. Play on.
Citizens for over a decade, but it seemed like people finally had enough of the corrupt military regime. They wanted a government that worked for the people instead of just lining their own pockets. So Guatemala citizens took matters into their own hands and began to demonstrate. They wanted Ubico out. And what does a dictator do when people start to oppose him? He puts his military to use. As people gathered in the main square demanding that the dictator must go, he gave his military a clear order. Show these pesky protesters what happens when you stand up to the government. Then all hell broke loose. The military began to shoot into the crowd as if they were fighting off an invading army, and around 200 people were killed or injured. But this ruthless act of violence only strengthened the people's will, and they kept coming for him. And on July 1st, stunned by the opposition to his rule, Ubico resigned as president and turned over power to his general, Federico Ponce. But people quickly realized that he was just another tyrant with a different name. Nothing had changed. After a few months passed, one of Guatemala's best journalists had decided that he had seen enough. So he launched a series of bold articles and fiery speeches criticizing the corrupt regime from all sides. Not surprisingly, a few days later, he was found dead, assassinated on government orders. The Guatemalans were outraged. Under rising pressure from the public, General Ponce agreed to hold a free election, and people immediately began to look for the right candidate to run against him. They needed someone who could put the country on the right path, and they soon found their ideal candidate, Dr. Jose Arevalo, a teacher who had been living in exile in Argentina for 14 years. His books and political vision were well known and respected throughout Guatemala, and he quickly became the nation's last hope, the man who might finally put an end to corruption and poverty in their country. When he arrived in Guatemala, he was welcomed like a hero, but it didn't last long. General Ponce heard about the euphoria and sent his military to arrest him, so Arevalo immediately had to go into hiding. But while the general was trying to get rid of his main competitor, his own fate was being sealed by two young officers, one of which would later become the president of Guatemala, Jacobo Arbenz.
Hey, that's funny, because that's more, going back to like you had brought out earlier in the class, that's more Northern Kingdom stuff. All the Northern Kingdom kings betrayed each other. They all stabbed each other in the back in order to be, conspiracies. That actually, when you read about Hosea, he became king through conspiracy. Go ahead.
He had fled Guatemala months earlier to plan a revolt, and now it was time to chase the corrupt government out of the country. The two officers gave weapons to supporters of the revolution and launched guerrilla attacks against police stations. And after a few days of fighting, General Ponce accepted a deal with the rebels. Guatemala's first free election would soon take place.
Benz realized that he wouldn't take down the fruit company. So he went in and tried and overthrew him, but still, like you said, they all stab each other in the back. Play on.
Bring it out. At the end of the day, they fighting and struggling for power, but the real bad guy is still looming over them.
Play on.
There would be no corruption, no violence, no bribes. After a landslide victory, the general was sent packing home, and the people's candidate, Dr. Jose Arevalo, became the first elected president of Guatemala, and he immediately went to work. Guatemala's citizens got more rights, censorship was forbidden, and racial discrimination was made a crime. But the biggest challenge was the devastating poverty of the country. Guatemala's people relied heavily on agriculture for their survival. The problem was that about 2% of landowners owned more than 70% of the land, and much of it was uncultivated. So while a few wealthy landowners were living in luxury, 99% of the people were starving. Lifting Guatemala out of poverty would require an all-out attack on land ownership.
Wait, real quick. This is just a thought. Did that ever change?
Not yet.
Like in 2025, it hasn't changed? Did they still own all that land?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
To this day. Look, but and another thing is, we watching all of these political coups take place, the military coming in, you got changing of faces in regards to who's the president. Meanwhile, that 2% still owns all that land. Nothing ever changed. The people have still been oppressed. again, never pointing the finger to who the real bad guy was. It's always, oh, it's just this over here, these little puppets right here. Nah, there's a bigger figure at work and at large behind the scenes. It's America, the CIA.
Hey, and then the people got false hope. They think they can vote. And they think they can vote they person who look like them in the office, not knowing that behind the closed doors, the white man looming.
Right. You know, the white man, he just took the minimum wage up. So that started at $87 a year, and now it's probably, probably $100 a year.
You're welcome. You're doing job.
Hey,
it's the solution.
Play out.
Problem was, most of this land wasn't owned by wealthy Guatemalans. No. That land was owned by one of America's most powerful companies. And luckily for that company, attacking private land ownership sounded a lot like communism, something that America was vehemently fighting against. After President Arevalo had served his term, Jacobo Arbenz became Guatemala's second elected president, the man who helped win the revolution.
In 1950, Jacobo Arbenz was voted president. He wasn't a communist, but some of his close allies were. A former military man, Arbenz sought to modernize Guatemala's backward society.
And the critical issue of land reform now laid in his hands. And he wasted no time going to war with the American company that owned the most land in Guatemala, the United Fruit Company. While most of Guatemala's people were struggling to survive...
I'm sorry, officer. Go back real quick. Go back to the I didn't notice this. Go to the logo. Yeah. Go to the logo. He telling, this white man funny, bro. He tell you what it is. Look at that. Why ain't no bananas in it? Where's the banana? The banana is a gun. What? Go ahead. Say it on words.
I think that's Guatemala's logo, because he said he got into the office and then he went against.
That's the United Fruit Company. That's the company's logo. Why is that a gun?
Right.
Damn.
What are they telling you? Give me that. Yeah. Come up off it, bruh.
Right.
That's what they call that gun.
They ruling by the sword. They ruling by the sword.
Get down or lay down.
Right.
You got your own mic.
That's it. That's exactly what they saying.
Yes, this is the Chiquita Banana
Chiquita
Company.
Banana. The Chiquita.
Y'all eat Chiquita bananas. Yeah, exactly.
No, wait. This Chiquita Banana?
Yes, that's the same company.
Damn.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I'm saying. Did anything actually change?
Hold on. The lady with the head wrap with the fruit inside.
Hit the bomb.
Yes. Oh, Lord. It went from pistols to head wraps and fruits.
Damn. Hey, let's play on. Play on.
While most of Guatemala's people were struggling to survive, the United Fruit Company owned 500,000 acres of land, the railroads, and the port. Any business that wanted to export goods had to use their infrastructure. So
Think they said 500,000 acres of land? Go back a little bit. Yeah.
500,000 acres of land.
A little bit more. All right, right there.
Fruit Company. While most of Guatemala's people were struggling to survive, the United Fruit Company owned 500,000 acres of land.
Dang. Play on.
Hey, you know what's crazy? You see they spraying GMO, all that stuff on the plants and all that stuff. You know how the Bible say that the whatever Esau touch, it die. So they the people who own the land, the Zebulonites, Guatemala, they can go in there and sow and reap harvest plentiful. But white man going there, he got to spray GMO. He got to do all kind of crazy stuff just to get bananas to grow.
Hey, let's play on. Damn.
Railroads and the port. Any business that wanted to export goods had to use their infrastructure, so they had nearly total control over the country's trade. The fruit company was also in the habit of forming close ties with corrupt dictators to get special deals. They bribed politicians, pressured the government, and intimidated opponents to get their way, while ruthlessly exploiting the country and its people. But their new president, Jacobo Arbenz, was about to shake the status quo. In October 1951, a top executive of the fruit company arrived in Guatemala from Boston to negotiate a new deal. He talked to President Arbenz as if he was his assistant and demanded the best terms for his company. The message was clear. You may be the president, but we, the United Fruit Company, are who really run this country.
Nah, that's not the end. Keep going.
Oh yeah, let me read it. You may. Well, he already said it. Yeah, he did like Alonzo in Training Day. Y'all just live. I'm the police. I run this. You just live here.
Pretty much.
That's what he said. Yeah.
And you better do as we say. But President Arbenz was having none of it. He made him a different offer. Improve the docks, reduce the freight rates, and start paying more taxes. Shocked at these wild demands, the executive hurried back to Boston. For the fruit company, it was a declaration of war. In March 1953, the United Fruit Company's worst fears came into fruition. President Arbenz started the long-awaited land reform. He seized over 200,000 acres of uncultivated fruit company land and distributed it amongst the peasants. Based on the tax value of the land, Arbenz was willing to pay the fruit company about $630,000 in bonds. The fruit company's response? A formal complaint. But not by the United Fruit Company, but the U.S. State Department. They found the offer offensive and demanded $16 million. Yes, this fruit company was so powerful that the U.S. State Department was negotiating on their behalf. That's how big they were. But President Arbenz wasn't in the mood for concessions, and only a few months later, he seized even more United Fruit land. Now the company's executives in Boston start to get nervous. How dare he threaten our profits?
He has
United
balls.
Fruit executives began to discuss the issue with their connections in Washington, and they all came to the same conclusion. President Arbenz was a threat to U.S. profits. I mean freedom. We have to prevent communism from spreading. And not before long, a conclusion was reached in the U.S. government. President Arbenz must go. But even though we're talking about the all-powerful United States, they couldn't just send a few thousand U.S. Marines to invade the country. Sure, the invasion would be over in a few hours, but it would be a PR nightmare, an act of war, a violation of international law. So if the U.S. wanted to dispose of the Guatemalan president, they had to be more strategic about it.
The same tactic they use all around the world today, still to this day. Play on. Play on.
Throw a foreign government, you must first bring the people behind you. You need to make sure that everyone sees Guatemala as the enemy, a threat to America, a threat to everyone's freedom. And how do you do that? With a propaganda campaign against President Arbenz.
In Guatemala, the Jacob Arbenz regime became increasingly communistic after its inauguration in 1951. Communists in the Congress and high governmental positions controlled major committees, labor and farm groups, and propaganda facilities. They agitated and led in demonstrations against neighboring countries and the United States.
All right, so they created a propaganda campaign. That's the first start to a genocide, like they doing in Gaza today. Is a propaganda campaign. All right, that's their first step.
Hey, that honestly, it's like an insult to the intelligence of the people. You feel me? Because it's like, okay, we want to kill them, but we can't just kill them because what they say, that's a PR violation, personal relations, right? You know, we don't want the world to think we just the devil yet. We want to still look like the good guys,
right?
So we gonna just put some news out there. You know what I mean?
We're gonna make them look like demons and devils and dictators and people who killing their people or whatever. We're gonna make them look bad.
Bring it out. Witchcraft. That's the witchcraft that he pushes.
That's their media.
That's facts. Hey, I can get a script?
Right. Go ahead.
Daniel 8:25, please. Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. So what we saw from this video, we saw the companies that had the interest in the land, that can lobby the politicians, that can lobby and go to the government, and then do what? Create all this hell that you see down there in the land. Whereas this man was doing good for the people, making moves against them because they came in and like you said, on Lonzo mode and said, hey, this is all ours. You just live here. We got to civilize you. Let us civilize you with our company. Read this thing.
The book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 25.
Let's go.
And through his policies.
His policies. So what they do is they go to the U.S. government and they come in with the propaganda. They come in with the political leaders that say, you're not fit to run this country. Based on what? Based on the agenda of the white man. If you don't line up with what he's talking about, guess what? You don't fit. And now a policy is created. Go ahead.
And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper.
And now the craft comes in when they say, let's create a straw man. We have nothing against this man, nothing of pure evidence to show that he's against us or against his people, but we're going to make up things. We're going to slander you. We're going to turn you into your own worst enemy. Come on.
And shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
And that's what the U.S. is known for. It's that proud man. He goes throughout the world doing what? Doing nothing but putting his pride on display by doing what? Taking down leaders and setting them up. Go ahead.
And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes.
Come on.
But he shall be broken without hand.
So that's what this white man does. Through his policy, through these politics, they go in, destabilize nations, create straw men, bring in their military, and take everything down.
Even when they say peace, in my Bible it says prosperity. Their prosperity was taking all the resources from Guatemala.
Yes, sir.
That's how he destroyed the people by stealing from us.
Right. All right, let's get that next one. Play on.
Target, President Arbenz. Objective, get him out of the presidential palace, dead or alive. First, the CIA thought about killing Arbenz with a silent bullet, but they knew it could turn him into a martyr and cause a new revolution, so it was off the table. The next idea was to bribe Arbenz out of office. We're talking about a weak president in Central America after all. Of course he would accept money over death. So they transferred huge amounts of money into a Swiss bank account and told Arbenz that it was time to enjoy life. But unfortunately, they were dealing with a man of integrity, and he refused. Next, the CIA tried to sow division in his military. The U.S. knew
they got different steps of how to take down a leader. Play on.
Arbenz's survival was dependent on the loyalty of his men. And once they realized they were fighting for a lost cause, they would put down their weapons. But that plan also failed. His men were too loyal and unwilling to move against him at this point. With bribery no longer an option, the CIA recruited an army of mercenaries to infiltrate Guatemala and carry out guerrilla attacks. They set up training camps in Nicaragua, and about 150 men were trained in sabotage, demolition, and weapon training. The Liberation Army was born.
A CIA operation, codenamed PB Success, mobilized disaffected exiles.
So that's
and
what they do
prisoners.
all over the world. Create a militia, basically, and have them go into other countries, right, and take down the government.
Bring it out.
They still do this to this day. This is what they did in Iraq. This is what they did in Libya. This is what they did in... I mean, we can keep naming countries.
And it goes into, like we brought out last week, about how in Panama in 1905, right? In 1905, when they set this up, this would be their game plan for the rest of the 21st century.
Yes.
This is how we running it. So we practice it, we set it up here in Panama, and now we finna do it all over the world.
And they still doing it to this day.
To this day.
To this
Hey,
day.
did it. Good job.
To this day.
Hey, play on.
Into action.
Meanwhile, a special CIA unit planted Soviet-marked weapons inside Guatemala, ready to be quote-unquote discovered as proof that communism was taking over Central America, just in case you need to justify your actions in an international courtroom. The CIA also began to sneak planes into neighboring countries. The goal? A terror campaign to force Arbenz's army into submission.
What we wanted to do was have a terror campaign to terrify Arbenz particularly, terrify his troops, much as the German Stuka bombers terrified the population of Holland, Belgium, and Poland at the onset of World War II, and just rendered everybody paralyzed.
Now the CIA needed one more key actor, a Guatemalan exile who would lead the Liberation Army. But they couldn't just pick any bloodthirsty man. Once the invasion was over, the leading general would most likely take over the government. And the last thing the CIA wanted was another hothead who did what he wanted. The CIA needed someone they could control, a puppet who would work for US interests.
Dang.
And in Castillo Armas, a military commander, they found the perfect man for the job. Bloodthirsty, corrupt, and willing to serve American interests. Now all the CIA needed was the perfect excuse to set off the invasion.
Hey, hold on. Hey, real quick. Hey, get 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 30 real quick.
The spirit.
Real
That's where
quick.
we're looking at.
Hey, get that real quick.
What you wanted?
1 Maccabees 1 and 30.
I got you.
Come on!
The book of 1 Maccabees.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 and verse 30.
Bring it out.
And spake peaceable words unto them.
They spake. So this we going back into our history, but we gonna revert it back to what's going on right here in the video, right? They were speaking peaceable words to us, right? Read.
But all was deceit.
It was all deceit. Everything that they saying is what? It's different behind the scenes. They not really saying, they in the front, they like, we're gonna give y'all a new president. We're gonna give y'all a new president now. We're gonna make sure everything good now. But behind the scene, they're like, now we need a little bit just to bomb y'all again. Come on, read.
For when they had given him credence,
come on,
he fell suddenly upon the city.
And that's what he about to do right now. Come on.
And smote it very sore.
Very sore. The people. When you read Deuteronomy 28, it tell you that he had no regard for the young, the old, the children. This is what's about to happen. He smote the city very sore. Come on.
And destroyed much people of Israel.
The tribe of Zebulun.
All praise to the Most High. Play on.
May 15th, 1954. Around 9 a.m., a cargo ship arrived in one of Guatemala's port cities. The cargo? Weapons worth over $1 million, straight from Czechoslovakia. It was Arbenz' desperate attempt to get ready for the invasion he knew was coming. But if he thought he could buy weapons undetected by the CIA, he was badly mistaken. The CIA knew about his interest in these weapons for over a year, but instead of spreading panic, the CIA was relieved. They had been trying to find a good excuse for a long time.
So they used this to take him down. At first they was gonna stage weapons, but then they was like, okay, we got something now. Play on.
You mean they sprinkled crack on him, was like make it drug related? That's cold.
And they control the ships. They control it.
To unleash the Liberation Army. The CIA had already begun to plant weapons with Soviet markings inside Guatemala, but US critics may see through the trick. So the cargo ship full of Czech weapons was a gift sent from heaven. It was the final proof they needed. Guatemala was doing business with the communists. A day later, the CIA had a quick meeting to discuss the situation, and they all came to the same conclusion. Arbenz now had enough weapons to crush his neighbors and take over Central America. Even President Eisenhower warned that the arrival of Czech weapons in Guatemala might lead to a, quote, communist dictatorship on this continent to the detriment of all American nations, end quote. With the green light of the US president, the CIA set the invasion date for June 18th.
So they was set to invade, to go in. All right, let's pull up this next article. Let's take a look. It's called the Guatemalan Genocide. Let's see what happened in Guatemala. Let's read that.
The Guatemalan Genocide, also referred to as the Maya Genocide or the Silent Holocaust.
Silent Holocaust. So everybody want to talk about this so-called Holocaust in Germany, which is not, because it was white people killing white people. I mean, a Holocaust is when you getting killed by another nation of people.
Come on!
Read.
Officer,
yeah.
This is why we don't have no empathy, no sympathy for the things that we have been through, our ancestors and forefathers. Because we are fed the damn Jewish Holocaust, but yet we didn't learn this.
Right.
We never knew our brothers from Zebulon was destroyed like this, just for trying to stand up for themselves. It's called the silent Holocaust for a reason.
And this was in the 90s. All the way up into the 90s, man. This was when we were kids. They was committing a genocide. We ain't know nothing about it.
We still in a genocide.
We are.
We are currently in a Holocaust right now. But you worried about what the Amalekites over there doing,
Right.
or what they went through,
Or Ukraine.
or Ukraine. More Amalekites.
We worry about whatever they tell us to. Pray for Ukraine. Pray for Amalek. The land of Israel. No, it's time to care about yourself and come together as the Israelites. Go ahead.
The hell is this?
Even when you talk about alligator Alcatraz in Florida, they locking up all Issachar, and not even Issachar. You got Judites. They locking up everybody.
Asher.
You know what I'm saying? That's
and we saw. Yeah, I'm sorry. We saw. We was talking about that at camp. How? Oh no, it was with you, officer. We was talking about at camp how a lot of those ICE laws are now affecting our brothers from the continent too, trying to get asylum papers. All of the ramping up of ICE detention centers and deportation is affecting the 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah,
Right.
You got Ukrainians here illegally.
Right.
They got Afghanis illegally.
Right,
South
right.
Africans illegally.
Right.
It's obvious who this targeting.
The children of Israel.
Right.
And the Afghanis be here just chilling. You think they Mexican? They just like, no, I'm from Afghanistan.
Right. Hey, read on.
The Guatemalan genocide, also referred to as the Maya genocide or the silent Holocaust, Genocido Guatemalteco, was the mass killing of the Maya indigenous people during the Guatemalan Civil War by 1960 to 1996 by successive Guatemalan military governments that first took power following the CIA instigated 1954 Guatemalan coup d'etat. Massacres, forced disappearances, torture, and summary executions of guerrillas, and especially civilians at the hand of security forces.
Okay, where you at?
At the hand of security forces had been widespread since 1965 and was a long-standing policy of the U.S.-backed military regimes. Human Rights Watch was documented extraordinarily cruel actions by the armed forces, mostly against civilians.
This was all against civilians. They want to say it's documented roughly 200,000, but it was way more than that. If we go on to read, but we're gonna shoot past this to save time, and let's go to the next video. When you get time, look up the Guatemalan genocide. So we're gonna start this next video at the timestamp that we have it at 3:37, and it's gonna go into the atrocities that they were actually doing in Guatemala against the indigenous people, against Zebulon.
And that's a heavy point that you bring out. You said, go look it up some more, because it's the natives' hour. But
Right.
this information is there.
It's there.
It's there for you to go and see, like, oh, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is actually happening to us. And then we, all praises to the Most High, we got the scriptures.
Right.
We have the scriptures that go and show, like, these atrocities that were done against the Guatemalans, the tribe of Zebulon, shows that they are the Israelites.
That's right.
Shows that we are God's people.
All right. Let's play on. Play that.
A scorched earth campaign aimed at eliminating guerrilla fighters and their support bases. However, the military's approach did not differentiate between combatants and civilians, leading to widespread human rights violations, including mass killings, rape, torture, and forced disappearances. The most infamous period of the genocide occurred between 1981 and 1983, during the regime of General Efrain Rios Montt, who seized power in a military coup in March 1982. Rios Montt was an evangelical Christian who framed his counterinsurgency campaign in moral and religious terms, often portraying the indigenous population as part of a communist threat.
Stop.
Hey, you look at this, man.
Yo, y'all heard that? Hey, you know what that reminds me of? your boy Michael, what's his name? Pam.
Yeah.
Philip Anthony. That's
Philip Anthony Mitchell.
That's what he said about the crybaby. That's what he said about the brother who said Jesus was black and died a black man's death. He tried to frame it as Marxist. And what was the other term he used? Using big words. Marxist and communism is the same thing. So he basically tried to tie that to black people. That's the same thing this dude did in order to kill indigenous people.
Bring it out.
That's white supremacy.
Right.
You are using white supremacy to try to kill black people.
Right. Meaning the white supremacy is the main ideology of Christianity. You can't have one without the other. It said he led. What was he? Evangelical?
Yeah, he was an evangelical.
He led
Christian.
with what we know today as modern Christianity, and what came with that is the indigenous population is a threat.
White supremacy.
Right, they are beneath us.
You gotta kill and steal from them. That's Christianity.
Right.
Christianity is steal, kill, and take from indigenous and black people, the Israelites. In the name of white Jesus.
And if they fight back, kill them. Kill them and move on.
All right, play on.
His government embarked on a systematic campaign of mass violence, particularly targeting the Maya Ixil population in the Western Highlands. The violence unleashed under Rios Mont's rule was staggering. According to reports by the United Nations and Guatemalan human rights organizations, entire Maya villages were destroyed, their inhabitants massacred, and survivors often subjected to torture, rape, and forced displacement. The Guatemalan army and government-aligned paramilitary groups, such as the Civil Defense Patrols, PACs, were responsible for widespread atrocities, massacres, and mass killings. Military forces often attacked villages indiscriminately, killing men, women, children, and the elderly. These massacres were carried out with extreme brutality, with victims shot, hacked to death with machetes, or burned alive in their homes.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I thought about this. Because we going in on the white man, right? Who are the people committing these atrocities right now that we're talking about? It might be backed by the CIA in America, but there is our own people. Those were Guatemalans killing Guatemalans.
Right. The CIA and Israel, they created training grounds in Nicaragua, right, and trained them how to torture and kill each other.
So
I think Deacon Yasha was talking something about that. It was called the Molin or something. What was it called?
I'm not sure.
Y'all didn't watch that show?
I'll look it up.
Hey, safe to say that's the same thing they did for Buffalo Soldiers, huh? That's the same thing. They made Judah.
Well, they was fighting a war though.
But they was killing their own brothers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But so they was just they trained us to torture each other, kill each other, just brutally kill each other. Let's get to that next video. It's gonna show who was involved in this. We're gonna start at 10 seconds. Israeli-backed genocide.
There you go.
Let's look at
Amalek.
the corporates. Amalek.
Here we go.
Amalek Defense League. Yeah, that's the ADL. Is the Amalek Defense League.
All right, let's play this video. See what's.
It's safe to say.
Go ahead. I arrived in Guatemala in 1983 to cover the wars in Central America, which I would do for the next 5 years. The regime of General Efrain Rios Montt was carrying out a scorched earth campaign, especially in the highlands of Quiché, Huehuetenango, and Baja Verapaz. The campaign was modeled on the kill anything that moves tactics employed by the United States during the Vietnam War, an effort to eradicate and control the civilian population in areas dominated by the insurgents, who until 1983 were beating back the Guatemalan army. The Guatemalan military savagely carried out massacre after massacre in the highlands against indigenous, including the wholesale murder of women, children, and the elderly, and razed some 600 villages and towns. The number of disappearances and killings averaged 3,000 per month. President Jimmy Carter had cut most military aid to Guatemala in 1977. Israel, however, filled the void. It equipped the Guatemala...
There, yeah, come on.
Hey,
Who did it?
Amalek been involved in everything. That's what we got to understand. Amalek been involved since the 1400s, right? Since slavery.
Bring it out.
Amalek has always been Amalek in America is the same entity.
The conquistadors were Amalek. Christopher Columbus, Hernan Cortez. What was the name of the dude that Pedro Alvarado? See my Jew. Pedro Alvarado. That was Amalek. All of them was Amalek. They was like a fraternity of Amalekites, people that converted to Judaism or from Judaism to Christianity that came over here and conquered the Northern Kingdom. Like you said, officer, Amalek is behind all this evil.
Hey, right. Play on.
Wholesale murder of women, children, and the elderly, and razed some 600 villages and towns. The number of disappearances and killings averaged 3,000 per month. President Jimmy Carter had cut most military aid to Guatemala in 1977. Israel, however, filled the void. It equipped the Guatemalan military with Israeli-manufactured Galil automatic rifles and Uzi submachine guns. Israeli advisors, estimated to be between 150 and 200, provided surveillance and interrogation training to police and military units. They assisted Rios Montt in carrying out the 1982 coup that brought him to power. They helped plan Guatemalan military sweeps that resemble their own erasure of Palestinian villages and massacres carried out in 1947.
That's my thing. Hold on. That's my thing. Why? Why the hell are these bastards? That's what they are. They're bastards. The Bible calls them bastards. Why are these bastards in Central America? This ain't got nothing to do with you stealing land from the Arabs. Why are you over here? What is the point of you being here?
Can I get a scripture for your answer?
Hold on, no, we run out of time. Hey, we got to finish this off. But yeah, Amalek, man, involved in everything. They supplied the weapons. They supplied the training. They taught them how to torture people, everything. Hey, play on.
1948. Mott was convicted in a Guatemalan court in 2014 for genocide and crimes against humanity, specifically relating to a series of massacres against the indigenous population of the Quiché region between March 1982 and August 1983 that resulted in 1,771 deaths and the forced displacement of 29,000 people. The conviction, however, was later overturned. General Hector Lopez Fuentes, Rios Montt's chief of staff, admitted at the time that, quote, Israel is our principal supplier of weapons and the number one friend of Guatemala in the world.
The number one friend is the guy that's giving you guns to kill your own people?
No way, boy.
The devil is my best friend. That's basically what he said.
Hey, I'm telling you, this is crazy. Play it.
Guatemalan military commanders, not surprisingly, referred to the genocide as the Palestinization of the indigenous Mayan population.
Do you see that? Because Israel came in and used the same tactics they used in the Nakba, what they call Nakba in Gaza. What was that, 1940 what?
Yeah, so that was, in the late 1940s when basically the UN started shipping them bastards into the land. They then began the Nakba, which is like basically, I think it's like Hebrew or Arabic for night of burning glass. And they was basically bombing and killing indiscriminately the Palestinians.
They were slaughtering them. So they brought them same tactics to Guatemala. And guess what else? They did it under President Reagan. Let's play this other clip real quick.
The devil!
Let's play this last one.
Lucifer.
Reagan was the devil. Well, I said President Reagan, but that
war
monster,
Reagan.
that war criminal Ronald Reagan. Play that. Yeah.
The parallels between Reagan and Trump is the same because Ronald Reagan was an actor. He was an actor all throughout the 50s and 60s.
That's heavy. That's true.
He wasn't no politician.
Read that. Well, let it play. He should be able to read it fast enough.
Read. Go ahead. During the 36-year Guatemalan Civil War, roughly 200,000 people were killed.
That was actually triple. Keep going.
Human rights abuses were widespread. And government security forces were responsible for over 90% of them. But the Guatemalan military did not act alone. The U.S. equipped and trained government forces.
And Israel.
U.S. officials were aware of government killings, disappearances, torture, and brutal violence, but continued to send support for decades. According to declassified documents, in 1966, State Department officials set up a safe house that would become a headquarters for the country's crackdown on leftist insurgents. In the 1960s and 70s, the U.S. sent $33 million in aid to the Guatemalan military. In the 1980s, under U.S. war criminal Ronald Reagan, the CIA had close ties to the Guatemalan military when it was massacring indigenous villages thought to be supporting the guerrillas. A 1992 CIA cable reported that several villages had been burned to the ground.
Over 600 villages. Keep playing.
Yeah, that too. Another 1994 U.S. Defense report described how in the 1980s the Guatemalan military threw suspected guerrillas out of airplanes into the ocean. The violations were countless, and the United States turned a blind eye in order to bolster its objectives in Guatemala and elsewhere across the region.
And elsewhere across the region. Now they everywhere. They in Gaza everywhere doing the same thing. All right, let's play that IRC video.
Hey, officer.
What you got?
I just, from the beginning of that video, you caught how they called it a civil war? No,
But
it was a genocide.
It was a genocide. Come on!
They tried to rename it the 36-year civil war. Hey, they sneaky. It was a genocide. It wasn't no civil war.
What did you say? You said something during the clip. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, that was a civil war. All right, let's play that. Guess where Israel United in Christ at?
Yeah.
Guatemala.
City. Listen, Guatemala.
Yeah.
Man, listen, the people was very humble to this word of God. Now, very, very few scoffers. For the most part, people was hungry for the word.
Es que necesitamos destruir estas imágenes, ¿ok? Esto no vale nada. Esto no vale nada. Y si te duele, y si eso te molesta, tú tienes el diablo entre de ti. Tú no conoces Jesucristo.
You know, the Catholic Church is like the mafia. It's the mafia, bro. We came in there with a camera. As soon as we're about to step foot on a step, they have the whole city out there saying we can't record, no cameras, and go inside this. It's in service.
Mira tu madre aquí, mira. Tu madre. Tu madre. Esto es abominación. Así es. You might walk around here thinking that you know you're doing shit. I'm telling you straight.
Breathe down his neck.
Are going to make it uncomfortable for you. Hey, it's nice to meet you.
Hey, we're gonna make it uncomfortable for you Christians.
Yeah, Mormons.
That's right, IUIC in Guatemala.
Yeah.
Hey, fully stripped.
Hey,
What
let
you
me
got?
get Leviticus 26 and 15.
Come on.
because what we've seen here, all that evil that America has done is because we've been in sin. It's because we broke God's laws. We've been going against what he told us to do.
Bring
so
it
this
out.
is what happened. Read.
Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 15.
Let's go.
And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments.
So we've despised doing what God says to the point that we kill our own people and we worship that demon, Caesar Borgia. Read.
So that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant.
Read.
I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
That terror is the United States. That terror is Amalek. Read.
Consumption and the burning egg.
Read.
That shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart.
That's what you saw all throughout the genocide, the Guatemalan genocide. Sorrow. Read.
And ye shall sow your seed in vain.
Because we were planting those bananas. We were planting those different fruits. And what happens? The white man comes in and take it. We couldn't even eat of it. Read.
For your enemies shall eat it.
The Americans ate it. Read.
And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies.
The CIA came in and killed us. Read.
They that hate you shall reign over you.
The America now reigns over us. Because like we said, that 97% is still owned by only 2%. It's still owned by the white man. Guatemalans still don't have control over their own resources. Jump down to verse 40.
Verse 40.
But as you see, the prophets, where I'm at, boom, right here. When you donate to the Booster Club, the prophets can then go and we can fulfill this part. Read.
If they shall confess their iniquity.
That's what you see. The tribe of Zebulon, you so-called Guatemalans, confess your iniquity. Say, we've done wrong. We've broken God's laws. We've gone against what our Father has told us to do. Read.
And the iniquity of their fathers.
Read.
With their trespasses.
Come on.
Which they trespassed against me. And that also they have walked contrary unto me.
Come on.
And that I also have walked contrary unto them.
Because we've gone against God. Read verse 42.
Verse 42. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob.
Then we can come back to be the Israelites. Then God's going to remember that covenant to put us on high, to make us those special people. Read.
And also my covenant with Isaac.
Come on.
And also my covenant with Abraham will I remember. And I will remember the land.
Go ahead.
Hit the bomb!
All right. Okay, let's get 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 3.
Let's go.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh.
Though we walk in the flesh, right? We walk just like everybody else in the flesh. We human. Read.
We do not war after the flesh.
We do not war after the flesh. We do not war with guns, knives, or any type of weaponry. Read.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
The weapons of our warfare is not physical. It's not carnal. Read.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
Through the pulling down of what?
Strongholds.
Read.
Casting down imaginations.
We casting down all these imaginations, right?
Yeah.
That Christianity, Christmas, Catholicism.
Bring it
Man
out.
is your friend.
Like the white man is good. Like he gon' save you if you just vote. If you just keep believing in that system year after year after year, after hundreds of years after hundreds of years after hundreds of years.
Bring it out.
Come on now. You got to realize that this man is not for us. Read.
Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God.
And every high thing that exalts himself against the knowledge of God. This white man says, okay, is a man can be a woman can be a man.
Come on.
50-50 relationship, Santa Claus, Easter, all this stuff. And he exalts himself above God. He says Sunday is the Sabbath. He said abortion is okay.
Bring it out.
He said you a Guatemalan.
He said you a Guatemalan and you Zebulon. This white man has changed everything and has exalted himself above God. Everything God says, the white man's against it. Read.
And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
That's our job, to bring into captivity every thought into the obedience of Christ.
That's
the Sabbath day is holy. Let's keep Pentecostal. Let's keep tabernacles. Let's keep the feast days of God. Let's keep God laws. Let's bring everything into captivity under the obedience of Christ. That's what we're doing. That's what the prophets are doing. This is our warfare. This is why we're going all around the world to teach the people Christ, to bring into captivity everything under the obedience of Christ.
That's right.
To show the wickedness of this man, to show his sins. Everything is being revealed. Read.
And having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience.
To what?
To revenge all disobedience.
We're ready to revenge all disobedience. Read.
When your obedience is fulfilled.
When your obedience is fulfilled. Zephaniah 2:1.
Let's go.
Zephaniah 2:1. Because this is how we're going to revenge all disobedience, by doing this. By gathering ourselves together. Read that.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Come on.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Because we are a nation that's not desired. And once we gather together as the 12 tribes of Israel, we're going to revenge all disobedience. We're going to bring all evil we're going to bring everything under the captivity, under the obedience of Christ. All praise to the Most High. Hasadiah, what you got?
So if you're ready to bring all, I forget what you said. You got me on God too.
Let's go.
Yeah, if you're ready to bring all thoughts into subjection of Christ and war for your people, we have a school near you. 9034 East Easter Place. Come visit us every Sabbath or visit IsraelUnite.org. We got a school near you, all right? Make sure y'all donate to the Booster Club. Right here, boom.
That's right.
Donate to the Booster Club. You see the works getting put in, y'all.
Come on.
Y'all see what we doing, casting down the imaginations, throwing down these strongholds. We need your help. Be a part of the solution, all right? Let's do it.
Hey, we're going to give a shout out to our bishops, our deacons, our captains. All praise to the Most High for our leadership. Right. Hey, we want to give a shout out to the AB team in the back. Hey, we want to give a shout out to the brothers on the ones and twos. Hey, shout out to our live audience here as well.
That's right.
Those of you that are watching live and those that are in here with us today.
Come on.
Hey, and with that, I'm Officer Dunn to my right.
Officer Hasadiah.
To his right.
Officer Mordecai.
To his right.
Officer Jonah.
To his right.
Officer Mathias.
And we have been the Natives Hour, home of the 10 tribes.
Wake up!
Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
Hickory dickory, I know you sick of me, but you a God's enemy. If you live wickedly, don't be an idiot. Follow for trickery, most has had enough. Call all the deacons up, and all of the captains, it's time to get active. We never reacted, we swing into action, cause you're running out of time. Yeah, you're running out of time.